She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. There must be something about her features. You'll find her beauty goes much deeper once you get to meet her. You see.
What's going on, guys? Kelvin here and welcome to 320 Tech. I hope you guys are doing well. I mean, it's a bright and beautiful day. The smell of freshly cut grass is just... and almost nothing beats the sight of an endless blue sky. Almost nothing. Today is new iPhone day, and if you guys know me, you guys know that there's nothing more important to me than new iPhone day. And I mean nothing. Obviously, our anniversary is more important than iPhone day. I mean, it's so much love between you and I. So much love. So here is the iPhone 12. It comes in 5 different colors: black, white, red, green, and a brand new blue color that I have here in this video. So you guys might be asking me, why did I choose the blue color iPhone? Well, it's not because I love the color blue or anything like that. Are you filming? Wait, what the hell are you doing? Stop that! The iPhone 12's body is made up of 2 glass panels that are joined in the middle by an aluminum metal band, which also houses the antenna. As opposed to the iPhone 12 Pro's fingerprint-prone stainless steel band, the iPhone 12's aluminum band is smoother and doesn't show any fingerprints. If you're someone who finds the iPhone 11 design to be quite slippery, the rigid edges and rectangular design of the iPhone 12 makes handling it much easier. Upon holding the iPhone 12 for the first time, I could immediately tell it was a premium phone. The contrast between the reflective glass panels on the front and back of the phone, alongside the cold and industrial feel of the aluminum sides, almost justifies its hefty $1,350 price tag. Almost. I was personally hoping that this year's iPhone 12 wouldn't have the same design as the iPhone 4, but unfortunately, it's basically a bigger iPhone 4 with a notch. It has the same 6.1-inch display size as the iPhone 11 with slightly thinner bezels, making it 11% thinner and 16% lighter when compared to last year's phone. The iPhone 12 features what they call a Super Retina XDR display and finally transitions from LCD to OLED. So what does this mean? As opposed to last year's LCD display found in the iPhone 11, the iPhone 12's OLED display is able to control the light for each individual pixel, allowing for pixel precision brightness and rich colors. It has a 2:1 contrast ratio that allows for true black when viewing photos, videos, playing games, and especially for dark mode on iOS 14. The Super Retina XDR display has a resolution of 2543 by 1170 with 460 pixels per inch, allowing for more detail, increased dynamic range, and precise color accuracy. It has a peak brightness of 1200 nits and has support for video formats including Dolby Vision, HDR10, and HLG. The iPhone 12 has also included a new cover glass that they have named Ceramic Shield. According to Apple, the process involves adding a high temperature crystallization step which grows nanoceramic crystals within the glass matrix. What? What does that mean? Last year, Apple claimed that their iPhone 11 had the strongest glass within any smartphone, but it was clear that there was no significant difference when compared to any other smartphone on the market. The Ceramic Shield cover glass has up to 4 times better drop performance when compared to the iPhone 11. So if your phone accidentally drops out of your pocket, it has 4 times the chance of surviving without cracking. So instead of buying jeans with deeper pockets or a screen protector, just spend $1,300 on a brand new iPhone 12. It all makes sense now! Next up, one of the biggest features from the iPhone 12 is its support for 5G. Similar to the iPhone 4 design, the aluminum brackets around the iPhone are composed of multiple antennas. Regardless of how you hold your phone, the design of the iPhone 12 works in a way where if one area is being covered or disrupted by your hand, there will be multiple other antennas in areas that aren't being covered that will allow you to continuously have a strong connection. Apple claims the iPhone 12 has the most 5G bands on any smartphone. They've also included a feature called Smart Data Mode that only utilizes 5G when it's available and switches to LTE or 4G in order to save battery. 5G allows for up to 3.5 gigabits of data per second in optimal conditions. But what does this all mean? Like, do you know what this means? Do you know what this means? Do you know what this means? Here in Sydney, 4G internet works really well, and I personally have no need for 5G. By all means, sometime in the future, 5G will become revolutionary, but as of right now, I just don't see a need for it. I wasn't even able to find an easily accessible carrier that didn't charge me an arm and a leg to test it out, but it's nice that I'll be able to use it when it becomes more widely available. So if you're in a position where you need to upgrade your phone and want a phone that will be future-proof for the next 2 to 3 years, then know that the iPhone 12 is definitely ready for 5G. Moving on, the A14 Bionic is the first smartphone chip that is built with a 5nm process technology. It includes 11.8 billion transistors, an almost 40% increase when compared to last year's A13. The A14 Bionic has a 6-core CPU that is composed of 2 high-performance and 4 high-efficiency cores. Just like last year's iPhone 11, the iPhone 12 lays out a similar 2-camera design towards the back of the phone. It includes a 12-megapixel ultra-wide camera up top, which has an f2.4 aperture, 4-element lens, 13mm focal length, granting you 120 degrees field of view. Below the ultra-wide angle lens is the new 12-megapixel wide lens that features an f1.6 aperture, 7-element lens, 26mm focal length, optical image stabilization, and 100% focus pixels. As opposed to last year's iPhone 11, the iPhone 12's new camera allows more light to enter the sensor, ultimately improving the quality of both photos and videos. Alongside these features, the iPhone 12 has a 27% improvement in low light performance, allowing you to have less noise and more crisper videos as soon as the sun goes down. In daylight, photos from the main camera have rich detail, impressively low noise, and excellent dynamic range. Colors are accurate, however, not so vibrant. Pictures lack contrast, and there is also some occasional over-sharpening. Videos from the main camera can also be shot up to 4K 60 frames per second with included electronic image stabilization and Smart HDR, alongside wide stereo sound recording too. 4K video recorded from the main camera look great, providing plenty of detail with minimal noise, impressive dynamic range, and true-to-life colors. Night mode has also been brought over to the entire iPhone 12 lineup, and for the first time ever in an iPhone, it's also been brought over to the ultra-wide camera lens, as well as the front true depth lens as well. This will allow you guys to take better scenic photos of landmarks, beaches, bridges, statues, and stadiums, even at night. The quality of these shots are impressive as there is plenty of detail, balanced sharpening, excellent colors and contrast, and balanced exposure. The iPhone 12 has included a new feature called Night Mode Time Lapse that will allow you guys to have longer exposure and brighter frames when mounted on a tripod. One of the biggest drawbacks when comparing the iPhone 12 to the iPhone 12 Pro is it doesn't have a Lidar scanner. So Lidar was thought to be primarily used for scanning rooms and to assist in augmented reality. One major feature that isn't very obvious right now is that the Lidar scanner actually helps tremendously when taking photos. Previously, iPhones would just rely on the light coming into the aperture to be able to try and figure out what it's seeing and only focus on objects that are lit up. Now, with Lidar being able to scan everything in frame, it not only knows what it's looking at, but it also improves the autofocus speed to be up to 6 times faster. That's extremely useful. When compared to other DSLR and mirrorless cameras, iPhones have always had a bit of a slower autofocus speed, and it can sometimes be hard to get a specific object in frame. Now with Lidar, you'll be spending less time trying to focus on an object and spending more time taking better photos. This is a really big deal, so if you're looking to buy an iPhone for the best photography experience, either in broad daylight or in dimly lit rooms, the Pro models are the way to go. By all means, the iPhone 12 has an amazing camera, but if you compare it to the Pro models in low light environments, I'd put my money on the Pro. The iPhone 12 is substantially cheaper than the Pro models, and this is one of the main reasons why. One of my personal favorite features from the iPhone 12 is Magsafe. Let's say I want to charge my MacBook at night and I can't see very much. I just have to get it to around the right area and the magnets will align themselves. My iPhone XS Max that also supports wireless charging has always given me mixed results. One of the biggest issues that I experienced was aligning the coil from the iPhone XS Max with the wireless charger. More often than not, I placed the iPhone on the charging pad, but slightly out of range of the coils, and as a result, my phone wouldn't charge. There's nothing worse than placing your low battery iPhone on a wireless charger, walking away for a few hours, and then coming back to realize that it wasn't charging because it wasn't aligned correctly. Magsafe fixes this issue by clicking into place once the iPhone is placed down, so you won't have to worry about it. The only issue is, you need to buy dedicated Magsafe accessories for this feature to work, and if you're like me, you're done with spending so much money! I just bought an iPhone 12 for this video, then I gotta buy the iPhone 12 Pro and Pro Max for my next few videos, then I have to buy a MagSafe charger so I can charge my phone. Speaking of charging, the iPhone 12 has a 2815mAh battery, as opposed to last year's iPhone 11, which has a 3110mAh battery, meaning it has a 10% reduction in battery size this year. Even though the iPhone 11's battery was one of the best ones when compared to older iPhone models, seeing Apple reduce the size of batteries is a worrying thing. With the introduction of 5G, more powerful processors, an amazing camera that would be used more than ever before, the battery size of the iPhone 12 is a step in the wrong direction. I average around 7 hours of screen on time with moderate to heavy use, including being on LTE the whole day, max brightness, occasional gaming, and using apps like Facebook and Reddit throughout the entire day. I definitely think the battery life on the iPhone 12 is great, and it will definitely last you a whole day, if not more. But I'd like to see iPhones continue to increase in battery size as we are consuming more power than ever before. So what do I think of the iPhone 12? I feel like the iPhone 12 is a great phone for the future. 5G is still within its early stages, and download speeds of that magnitude have no function for most people. The new design is nice, but I was hoping for something we haven't seen before. It's essentially a bigger iPhone 4 with a notch. Regardless, it still feels great in the hand, just like any other iPhone. They've also removed the power brick and earpods from the box in an attempt to save the environment, which is great and all, but I personally think it would have made a much bigger difference if they changed their charging port to USB-C. That way we wouldn't need all those extra cables. Looking past these things, the iPhone 12 has great battery life, an AMOLED screen, MagSafe, and a ceramic shield screen. That's all great, but in my opinion, the camera should be the main reason why you should buy this phone. It's got a larger aperture, dark mode on the wide angle lens as well as the front facing camera, and the overall machine learning has been greatly improved. But the iPhone 12 doesn't have Lidar. That means you won't have the super fast autofocus and image detection at night like the Pro models have. So if you're looking for a phone that takes great photos and videos in daylight, the iPhone 12 is great. Otherwise, if you want that really great low light photography and videography, you're better off going with the Pro models. If you have a phone older than the iPhone 11 and you want to upgrade, the iPhone 12 is a great phone. If you have any phone that's newer than the iPhone 11, don't upgrade because it's just not necessary. A massive feature that a lot of phones have these days is a 120Hz display, and neither the iPhone 12 or 12 Pro have this feature. It's rumored that next year's iPhone will include it, and I think that's a feature that is worth paying for. If you don't need the upgraded camera or 5G, I would save my money and wait for next year's iPhone. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you guys want to see my iPhone 12 Pro review in the next video. Anyways, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. There must be something that